I can hear her heartbeat from 1,000 miles. Yeah, the heavens open every time she smiles. And when I come to her, that's where I belong. Yet I run into her like a river song. She gave me love, 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 crazy love. She gave me love, 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 crazy love. She got a fine sense of humor when I'm feeling low down. Yeah, when I come to her when the sun goes down. Take away my trouble, take away my grief, take away my heartache in a night like a thief. She gave me love, 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 crazy love. She gave me love, 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 crazy love. She gave me love, 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 crazy love. She gave me love, 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 crazy
take your seats. Before we begin, can I kindly ask everyone to silence your phones and please refrain from taking any photos and videos during the ceremony. It's such a joy to be here at last. This has been a year in the making, and we're all here to celebrate the love that Joe and Alyssa share with one another, and to take this moment to recognize the commitment they're making to each other today. As I look around, I see friends and family who've traveled from near and far to gather to show their love and support for Alyssa and Joe. This circle that surrounds you here today is not only here for you now, but will be here for you always. In thinking about the meaning of this ceremony and the importance of making this commitment to sharing your future together, I was reflecting on how marriage is so much more than a contract. It's so much more than the mundane daily tasks that can take center stage if you're not careful. It's a sacred vow, a commitment that you're making to one another, a promise to rise above. Marriage brings its challenges. You may have disagreements. You won't always understand each other. But what's important is to learn how to rise above those differences. If we focus on trying to prove our point, we just strengthen the walls that divide us. As the great poet Rumi said, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. What is there? I've been contemplating. Simply put, love. We have to let love win. Love is not a passive state. It's an active, engaged practice that we must choose again and again. It doesn't have to be perfect, but love cannot give up. So always strive for connection. Always strive to understand each other. The vows that you are making today will strengthen that connection to each other and to God. So as you build your life together, everything you do is infused with the promises you're making here today. And after this day is done and you go back to raising your family and building your life, my wish for you is that you never lose sight of that vow and that love that you are promising one another today. I'd like to invite Amanda up to share a reading.
Hello. Does this sound okay? Love isn't always perfect. It isn't a fairy tale or a storybook, and it doesn't always come easy. Love is overcoming obstacles, facing challenges, fighting to be together, holding on and never letting go. It is a short word, easy to spell, difficult to define, and impossible to live without. Love is work, but most of all, love is realizing that every hour, every minute, and every second was worth it because you did it together.
Your marriage begins today with the vows and promises that you're speaking to one another. I would like to invite Tara and John to bring the rings. Alyssa. You guys can get this. There you go. In the presence of God and your family and friends, do you, Alyssa, take Joe to be your husband, to share your life and your dreams, to build with him a home that is a place of love, happiness, commitment, and growth?
I do.
Do you promise to stand with him in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, to cherish and love forevermore?
I do. I do.
Yay! Do you, Joe, take Alyssa to be your wife, to share your life and your dreams, to build with her a home that is a place of love, happiness, commitment, and growth?
I do.
Do you promise to stand with her in joy and in sorrow, in sickness and in health, to cherish and love forevermore?
I do.
I invite Christine to join us. See if this will work, okay? Okay, please join your hands. I ask you to join your hands as a symbol of the union that you're making here today. You may go ahead. With full awareness, know that within this circle, you're not only declaring your intent to be handfasted before your friends and family, but you speak that intent also in the presence of God. Woven into this cord, imbued into its very fibers, are all the hopes of your friends and families and yourselves for your new life together. With the fashioning of this knot, we tie all the desires, dreams, love, and happiness wished here in this place into your life for as long as love shall last. By this cord, you are thus bound to your vows and to one another. They tied the knot. In the name of love, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Maybe you wanna give me kisses sweet, but only for one night with no repeat. And maybe you'll go away and never call, and a taste of honey's worse than none at all. Oh, little girl, in that case I don't want no part. I do believe that that would only break my heart. Oh, but if you feel like loving me, if you got the notion, I second that emotion. Say, if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. Oh, maybe you think that love would tie you down, and you don't have the time to hang around. Or maybe you think that love was made for fools, and so it makes you wise to break the rules. Oh, little girl, in that case I don't want no part. I do believe that that would only break my heart. Oh, but if you feel like loving me, if you got the notion, I second that emotion. Say, if
now, for the reason that you are all here, turn your attention to the barn doors and welcome Mr. and Mrs. Haley.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do. Oh, you thrill me. I know you thrill me. Darling, you thrill me. Honest you do. At first I thought it was infatuation, but oh, how it's lasted so long. And now I find myself wanting you to marry you and take you home. Oh, darling, you.
Give us a round of applause for the newlyweds.
You send me, darling, you send me.
Oh yeah, you can say your
That's right. So we just wanted to thank. Is this on? It's on. Okay. We just wanted to thank all of you for coming here today and being with us to share this day, and we're just so grateful to have all of you, and just thank you so much. So.
Thank you, guys.
So Joe always makes fun of my horrible handwriting, so this is one of those times when he's probably right. But first of all, I'd like to just say, can we give a big hand to Joe and Alyssa? Big hand. All of us are so happy to be here with you and share this. I've been thinking a lot about these two, knowing that I had to say this thing. And so as I've been thinking about them, it's just, it's been so nice to reflect on how wonderful they are as people. And I was thinking about what it means for them to be getting married. So a few years ago now, they came up with this plan, and it was the most beautiful, sacred plan two people can make, and that is to share a life together. So these two people, they were looking in each other's eyes, that little twinkle that young lovers have, and they made this plan. They said yes. They each agreed that they wanted to share a life together. But they weren't the only ones watching. Far away in the ether, there was, on this little twinkling star, this little being that was watching and saying, yeah, that sounds great. I want to do that too. So right off the bat, they were thrown a curveball, and their plan was going to be affected by something from the outside, and Nora decided to come and join them on this wonderful plan. So they were going to get married, and then this other thing happened, this pandemic. You might have heard about it, I'm not sure. But once again, life threw them this curveball, and they had to change what they had envisioned, which was this wonderful party, and it was going to be great, and then all of a sudden, they had to change it. But they stuck with it. They stuck with their plan, they stayed the course, and we're here today because they stuck with it. And that's really what it takes, is to just always roll with the punches as a couple. And I think that you guys will do that. The other thing that is, when I was thinking about these two, is that the perfect marriage is one where the two people involved can complement one another. And I think that these two do that really well. So, for example, I was in their house, and all of a sudden I heard this blood-curdling, high-pitched scream, and just saying that there was a spider, right? And so this scream came from upstairs, And when we heard this really high-pitched scream, Alyssa and I looked at one another. No, I'm just kidding. So, I don't know if you guys know this, but Alyssa's not that fond of spiders or bugs in general. And Joe is always there to scoop up the spiders and take them away, right? Now, I don't know if you guys know this about Joe, but he is not a very good cook. He tried to make scrambled eggs for some of the kids, and I think one of the kids said, "Wow, these are the most disgusting eggs I've ever had." It did happen, but in his defense, eggs are pretty hard to scramble and fry. So we all have our weak spots, right? No one person is perfect, but ideally as a team, you guys can be perfect together and cover each other's weak spots. And I think that you two do that really well. I can go on for a long time. I won't do that to all of you. But Joe actually said, "Hey, can you say a short speech at the wedding?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to say a really long speech." I'm not going to do that. But the other thing I was thinking about these two people, especially when those of you that have kids, when you have young children and life and jobs and all of that, it's really, most of us, most of the time, we're just white knuckling it through life, right? You just like make it through the day, and at the end of the day, you just are like, oh my God, we made it, you know? And they definitely do that. But in addition to that, these two people, and this is like the most sincere statement I can make, on top of doing that, they also are so thoughtful of all of us here. They make time. Sometimes I'll call Joe, be like, "Hey, can you give me a hand with something?" And he always makes time, but he has to fit it into his schedule. Just recently, he's like, "Well, I have a 2:00 call with a friend tomorrow." So, like, I mean, who does that? Who carves out time just to check in on a friend that they haven't? I mean, you know, it's hard because we're all, I wish that I did that more. So I'm inspired by both of you for doing that. On top of everything that you have, you're always thinking about all of us. And because of that, this whole group of people here will always be there for you in that way. And when things get hard, you have this beautiful net around you. And we'll always be there because we love you. You are two of the most beautiful people that we know, and we're so happy for you. Wish you the best of luck.
Now we're going to hand the mic over to Alyssa's sister, Tracy.
Okay. I had to write mine down because God only knows what I would say if I was speaking off the top of my head like Michael. It's better off that I wrote it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I am Alyssa's oldest and very emotional sister, Tracy. I have a bet with my husband tonight that I will make it through this speech without crying, and I don't like to lose, so here goes nothing. I would like to start by welcoming everyone here today for this very special occasion. I know that Alyssa and Joe are overwhelmed by your love and support over the years. Alyssa, you look absolutely stunning, and Joe, more handsome than ever. I am so happy that today is the day we can finally sit back and relax and truly enjoy the celebration of your love for one another. Oh, I'm starting to cry already. I know how hard it was for the two of you to plan a wedding during a pandemic, having to rearrange and postpone everything, but thankfully it all worked out, and all your hard work has finally paid off. I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't even be here tonight. I may be exaggerating a little, but for those that know me, you know I like the recognition. A few years back, John's gonna win. A few years back, Alyssa had been invited on a ski trip with some friends. She was hesitant to go, and I ended up encouraging her because of a similar story that happened with one of my friends who met her husband on a ski trip. My friend wasn't going to go skiing that weekend with me either, but I made her come with me. Knowing my friend's story and me saying, "You could meet your future husband on this trip. You should really go." She actually went, And when they returned home, they had their infamous 16-hour first date. And I guess it's safe to say that the rest is history. Talk about thoughts becoming things. Alyssa, it's no secret, over the years we've had our ups and downs. With our age gap, I was never sure if I would have the sister relationship I'd always longed for. It pains me to say that we each fit the stereotype of eldest child syndrome, me, and middle child syndrome, you. Google says that the oldest child tends to be perfectionist, while the middle child is usually more of a rebel. I won't start in with the stories demonstrating how much of a rebel she really was, but I'm sure everyone can take my word for it. Pretty sure we both hit the nail right on the head. I'm grateful for our friendship and could not be more thankful for your love and support over the years. You have always been the deep thinker in the family, and although I sometimes hate being social worked by you, you are usually right, most of the time. I am in complete awe of you sometimes and how far you have come. You are truly an inspiration to us all. Additionally, how can I write a speech and not mention your beautiful daughter, my niece, Nora. Watching you as a mother has made our relationship even stronger, and I look forward to our children growing up together. Joe, as I have gotten to know you, I see why my sister fell in love with you. You are such a great guy and an incredible father. You're able to hang with the Heralds, even with all the terrible jokes. You still keep coming back. Yeah. We are lucky to have you in our family, and I am excited to finally call you my brother. Congratulations to you both. I love you, and I wish you so much happiness, success, and love in your lives. Please, everyone, raise your glasses and toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Haley. I don't have a glass, but cheers!
All right, and now we will have the father-daughter dance. So we can have Mike escort Alyssa out to the dance floor. Give it up for Alyssa and her dad. All right, next we have Joe escorting her mother Diane out to the dance floor.
You're fine.
When it's clouds and rain, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. Everything falls into place like the flip of the switch. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days like this. When no one's in a hurry, there'll be days like this. When you don't get betrayed by that old Judas kiss. Oh, my mama told me There'll be days like this when you don't need an answer. There'll be days like this when you don't need a chance. There'll be days like this.
Now Joe wants to have everybody grab a special person and join in with his mother on the dance floor.
And I must remember there'll be days like this.
Are you supposed to join them on the dance floor? Have a dance.
My sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. From far away, I'll say your name. Oh, with you, I'll travel thick. And with you, I'd also travel thin. And all the spaces in between, I travel with you, you're my sweet one. But for now, I must sit here and ponder the under. Herbivores ate well cause their food didn't ever run. My sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. From far away, I'll say your name. Oh, if you're ever unsatisfied with the way life's treating you, you know you can count on me to take good care of you. I love you, honey, oh yes I do, you know that's true, of course. And if your dog or cat ever dies, I'll buy you a you. My sweet one, I call you my sweet one. You're my only true sweet one. With my all, I call you my sweet one. From far away, I'll say your name.